Who is God? That's one of the biggest questions people ask. Matter of fact, it's one of the highest Google searches there is, you know, the idea, the understanding of who is God. You know, some people say, well, God's just a figment of people's imagination, which would simply mean that we've created God in our own minds. And a lot of people, when they think about religion, think, well, religion is for weak-minded people or that are able to follow anybody. But when we take a deeper look at the idea of who is God, which is, you know, a question I think everybody asks, I think there's some real things to be seen and understood that can I think be revelation or revelatory for us as individuals. First, I'll say this. I believe that God is the creator of everything. Everything that you see, everything that you've experienced, everything that you know has come from a design that God has put into play. The earth as we know it, the universe as we know it, and the vastness of the universe that we know was created by God. It's interesting when we talk about the context of God. God is a spirit being. He's not like us in human form and the way we experience life. He is a spirit being. And there's really a part of all of us that what I'll call the lunging on the inside that has the ability to connect with God in a spiritual way, which, you know, man could be seen as having a body, right? We're spirit, soul, and body. We have we live in a body, we have a soul, but we really are a spirit, and there's a connecting piece in all of us. So, you know, God is the creator. And I think there's something in every one of us when you look around, as you know, the scriptures talk about the idea of the world tells us that there's a God by just the design of creation. I mean, I was walking through the woods this past week and, you know, saw the beauty of leaves that were changing color and just the amazingness of it. I saw a little video this week of a spider that is a myriad of colors, and you think, wow, this is the beauty, the splendor. I've been to the Grand Canyon, looked over the Grand Canyon and just said, wow, the amazingness of creation. And I think all of us, when we look around, are amazed at the design and what would look to seem to be an intelligence of the creation of things that are around us. I've read lots of materials about the idea of just a single-cell amoeba. The type of information inside the DNA of a single-cell amoeba is an amazing amount of information. And each progression forward to where we are today as humans, the amount of information that's stored within our DNA so that it can create a human being is wrought with what would look like intelligence, something that creates us so beautiful. And I think that it speaks loudly of a creator being, which is God. So I'll say this: God is a creator, the creator of the universe. But there's some things that I think are more important to understand about God is that God is touchable. God is not a being that is to be separated and has created and left us alone to do or be our own thing. God is touchable. He wants to be known. He invites us actually into this connecting point. We find in Christianity the idea that God is love. He's expressed himself to humanity as a God of love by providing a way of life for us. And I think this value that we find in our Christian faith about God and the principle of Jesus Christ coming into the form of a man to die for the sins of man was really God expressing himself to us in a meaningful way so that we could be in relationship with God. You know, God's provided us a way to be connected. And, you know, we ask the question about who is God because there's something in us that longs to, if there is a God. I know my young journey in life, I was simple with this. It's like, if there's a God and, you know, he has a way, I would kind of want to know that. So I think when we ask the question about who is God, there's this deep sense inside of us, this longing, this knowledge that there seems to be something. And again, whether, you know, you're atheist or you're agnostic, you're not sure what to believe, the reality that God potentially can exist is around us everywhere. And so that question is, well, if there is a God, then does he have a path? Does he have a pattern? Does he have a plan? And this is where, you know, we've religions around the world that come and just declare or distribute ideas about who God is and what God is, and all those things they're worthy of investigation. But in my history of discovery and learning, I have found that the God of the Bible, the God that we find is a God of love, a God of invitation, a God of new beginnings, a God of forgiveness, a God of grace, is a God that's you know, has a purpose and plan for our lives. And I'll say for you, maybe you're out there asking, well, who is God? Well, God is a God that loves you. He sent his son Christ to give us opportunity and hope for a better future. And if that longing in the inside of you is making you strive to say, man, who is God? I believe that you know, if you'll seek after him, you'll find who God is in a special way.